everything I'm going to say in this video, you will definitely see it in your biology NECO practical exam. So all I want you to do is just to pay attention to this video, and remember, do not skip this video, because if you skip this video, you miss one step or the other. All I want you to do is just to get your pen and paper ready, because as I'm going to be dictating this note, you will be writing it down, because you will definitely see it. Mark it somewhere. And for those who came back on the comment section to say thank you for work well done after their practical biology exam on WAEC, I must say congratulations. I'm wishing you the best results in advance. So I'll be taking this specimen one after the other. So all you need to do is just to pay attention to this video. And also, if you have anybody who will be writing NECO biology practical this year, just share the video to them so that they can be able to follow in this tutorial in order to have an excellent result. I believe those who have been following us for years can attest that this channel is the only channel where you can go and get all the resources that you need. And remember, if you need any assistance as far as this exam is concerned, all you need to do is just follow me on my Telegram channel using the link in the description below, or using the phone number on the screen, or you can chat me up on WhatsApp, and I promise you I'll be adding you to our group where you get all the necessary assistance that you need in order to have excellent results. Okay, the first in our list is Specimen A. And what is this Specimen A? The Specimen A is Housefly. Yes, Specimen A is Housefly. Now, remember, the questions may be identify Specimen A. So when you are asked to identify Specimen A, just have it in mind that the Specimen A is a housefly. Okay, now you'll be asked on the kingdom. You'll be asked on the kingdom which Specimen A belongs to. Have it in mind that Specimen A belongs to the kingdom Animalae. And also you'll be asked to state the phylum of the Specimen A. The phylum of Specimen A. The phylum is known to be arthropods. They are arthropods. Okay. Now you also be asked to state the class at which Specimen A belongs to. Have it in mind that the class is Incenta. Now you may be asked to state the reason why it is an Incenta, why you said they belong to the class of an Incenta. So the reason why they belong to the class of Incenta is because they are the only organism in the phylum of arthropods that have wings and can fly. Okay, so that is the reason why it is an Incenta. Okay, now the next one there is mode of reproduction. Mode of reproduction. So the housefly, which is Specimen A, reproduce sexually. They reproduce sexually. Okay, now what of the mode of feeding? The mode of feeding. Here we see that the mode of feeding is biting and chewing for housefly. They bite and chew. That is their most mode of feeding. Now here we have habitat. Habitat. Now when we talk about this habitat, there are things you should have in mind. Now when they say the habitat, they are not just talking about either terrestrial or aquatic. No, that is not what they mean. What they mean is that you should state where they are found, which is their niche, where they are found. So, and here we have rotten food, decaying food or items. So that is where you see housefly, which is Specimen A. You can also see it on physics, okay? On physics. Okay, so that is all you need to know about Specimen A. Now the next one there is Specimen B, which is spider. Now spider, the kingdom is Animalae, the phylum is Arthropoda or are the arthropods, while the class is Arachnida. Now look at this. Spider is not an insect. Listen, spider is not an insect because they do not belong to the class of Incentas. Remember what I said concerning housefly. They belong to the class of Incenta. And I told you the reason why they belong to the class of Incenta, the reason why they are grouped under Incenta. And I made you to understand that Incentas are the only organism in the phylum of arthropods that have wings and can do what? Can fly. Now, in so many cases, people refer spider as an insect. But the reason why spider is not an insect is because spider, yes, it has 6 legs, it looks like an insect, but they do not have wings and they cannot fly. So the class of spider is known to be Arachinda. Is what? Arachinda. So take note of this, do not forget. Spider do not belong to the class of Insecta, rather Arachinda, but they belong to the phylum, the same phylum known as Arthropoda, and the same kingdom known as what? Kingdom Animalae. So let's forge ahead. Now, mode of reproduction, they reproduce sexually, and the mode of feeding is biting and chewing, just like housefly. Now, reason why we say that their mode of feeding is biting and chewing. Reason why their mode of feeding is biting and chewing is because their mouth is made up of mandible and the maxillary mouth parts, which enable them to bite and chew food. So the next specimen we have here is Pride of Barbados, flower of Pride of Barbados. Now look at the questions that you should be expecting as far as Pride of Barbados specimen, which is Specimen C, is concerned. Okay, here we have the kingdom. The kingdom is Plantae. That is the kingdom they belong to, Plantae. Now we have the division. The division is Magnolophyta. That is the division. Now you should be expecting the agent of pollination. Agent of pollination. You'll be asked what is the agent of pollination of Specimen C. Now the agent of pollination of Specimen C is insects, man, and wind. These are the agents of pollination as far as Specimen C is concerned, which is Pride of Barbados. Okay, now you'll be asked the life cycle of Specimen C. They are perennial plants because they can last more than 3 years or 4 years, depending on how they are being taken care of. Okay, now you'll be asked the type of ovary. You'll be asked the type of ovary. Now, the type of ovary that Pride of Barbados, the flower, have is superior ovary. Reason why it is called a superior ovary is because it is raised above other floral parts. It is found above other floral parts. That is the reason why it is known to be superior ovary. So all you need to do is go and learn how to draw and label Pride of Barbados flower. Very important. So the next one we have here is Specimen D, which is bean seed. Now the questions that you should be expecting as far as this Specimen C, which is bean seed, is concerned is the cotyledon. You'll be asked the cotyledon. So you have it in mind that beans is a dicotyledon, meaning that they have 2 seed leaves. They have 2 seed leaves. Yes, they have 2 seed leaves. Okay, now what are the pests of Specimen C? Very, very important. Why NECO would not fail to ask you the insect of or pest of Specimen C. Now the insect of or the pest of Specimen C is bean weevil. Bean weevil. That is the pest. So that notwithstanding, also go and learn how to draw beans, learn how to draw Specimen A, learn how to draw Specimen C, which is drawing of Specimen B, drawing of Specimen A, and drawing of Specimen C. Now, I will advise you to also learn how to draw very, very well. Go and learn how to draw this specimen that I've mentioned, Specimen A, Specimen B, and Specimen C. If you don't know how to draw, or if you want to learn how to draw a biology practicals, remember, biology drawing is quite different from creative and art drawing, where you do a lot of painting, beautify it. It's quite different, okay? So if you want to learn how to draw very, very well, the rules and regulations that are involved in practicals, especially when it comes to drawing, all you need to do is you visit my other video. You will see tutorials on how to draw effectively and the rules that guides biology practical as far as NECO exam is concerned. Okay, In our next specimen, what we have here is Specimen E, which is butterfly. Specimen E, which is butterfly. Now here we have the kingdom to be Animalia, the phylum to be Arthropods, the class to be Insecta. Now the mode of reproduction is sexual. They undergo sexual means of reproduction. Now the next thing you should note there is their metamorphosis. Their metamorphosis. Now they undergo a complete metamorphosis. Yes, butterfly undergoes a complete metamorphosis. So both housefly, butterfly, they undergoes complete metamorphosis. Okay, very, very important. Now, why do we say that they undergo a complete metamorphosis? Now, the reason why we say that they undergo a complete metamorphosis is because they undergo 4 stages of development. They undergo 4 stages of development, from egg to larva, from larva to pupa, and from pupa lastly to imago, which is 4 stages. So have it in mind that any organism that undergoes 4 stages of metamorphosis is known to be a complete metamorphosis. Okay. Now the next one there is mode of feeding. Mode of feeding. Now we say that butterfly, they are fluid feeders. Yes, they are fluid feeders, meaning that they feed on liquid, on fluid, especially nectars. So the kind of mouth parts they have is sucking mouth parts due to the presence of their proboscis. They have proboscis that enables them to pierce and suck fluid. Okay, so that is that. So they are called sucking insects. Okay, now we have their habitats where they live. So they live on leaf, they live on flowers, plants, etc. Now we have their mode of growth. How do they grow? They undergo what we call molting or edesis. Molting or edesis. These are their. This is the mode of growth they undergo. Okay, so now let's look at the economic importance of Specimen E, which is butterfly. The economic importance of Specimen C, which is butterfly. Now, under the economic importance, we say that it pollinates flower of crop and other plants. They are good pollinators. Okay, they are good pollinators. So that is why in some cases they are referred to as farmers' friend, because they help in pollinating flowers. Okay, now the next one there says it sucks nectar from flowers. It sucks nectar from flowers. Now another one there says it adds beauty to the environment. Yes, it adds beauty to the environment. Now here is their caterpillar destroys planted crops. Their caterpillar destroys planted crops, which is their early stage of development. During that period, they are usually disastrous. They can eat up plants, particles, plants, leaf and parts, thereby causing a lot of harm to the farmers and also increasing cost of production in trying to control them. So that is the reason why sometimes we regard them to be disastrous, especially during their early stage of development. Here we said it is used for scientific studies. These are the economic importance of Specimen E. Have it in mind that when we talk about economic importance, like I will always say in every of my video when it comes to practical on biology, when we talk about economic importance, we are not just talking about their good aspect. We are talking about both their negative aspects and their positive aspects. That is the advantage and the disadvantage of this organism. So that is why you have both negative and positive written the same. Okay. Okay, so the next specimen on our list is Specimen F, which is crayfish. Specimen F, which is crayfish. Now, under Specimen F, we have the kingdom to be Animalia, we have the phylum to be Arthropods, we have the class to be Crustaceans, and we have the habitat to be water or aquatic habitats. So try as much as you can to learn how to draw crayfish, which is already on the screen. Learn how to draw crayfish and label it accurately. Okay, so next specimen is Specimen G, which is grasshopper. So now let's take a look at the questions that you must see as far as this exam practical is concerned. Okay, here under Specimen G we have kingdom to be Animalia, we have the phylum to be arthropod, we have the class to be insecta, and I believe we know the reason why they are called insects or insectors. Now we have their metamorphosis. They undergo incomplete metamorphosis. They undergo incomplete metamorphosis. Okay. Now their habitat is leaf. They live on leaves. Now their feeding habit is biting and chewing. Biting and chewing. Okay. Now let's look at the adaptative features. Very, very important. The adaptative features of these organisms that we have mentioned. Adaptative feature of Specimen G, which is grasshopper. Now, when we talk about adaptative features, what it simply means is the organs that enables it, or the structures that enables it to survive in a given environment. The structures that enables it to survive in a given environment. Those are the adaptative features. Now, from your drawing, you can be able to dictate the adaptative features of this grasshopper. Now, one of the adaptative features of a grasshopper is the mouth. The mouth. Now, what is the function? Because you'll be asked the adaptative feature of grasshopper, which is Specimen G, and their function. What is the function of the mouth? The mouth is used for feeding, chewing, eating, etc. That is what it is used for as far as the organism is concerned. Now we have the jointed legs or jointed appendages. Now this jointed leg or jointed appendages is used for hopping. Okay, it is used for hopping. Remember, as far as grasshopper is concerned, you don't use walking. They don't walk, rather they hop. So they are used for hopping. Now we have their wings. We have their wings. Their wings is used for flight, flying, or movement. Okay, so that is that. Now we have their spiracles. We have their spiracles. Their spiracle is used for gaseous exchange, or you can say for breathing or for respiration. Anyone you write, that is that. Now we have the antenna. The antenna is used for sensitivity as far as the Specimen G is concerned. So as Specimen G is concerned. Then we also have the compound eyes. The compound eyes used for seeing. You can write seeing, you can write vision, or you can write sight. These that I've mentioned are all the adaptative features and their function of Specimen G. Okay, now let's take a look at the economic importance of Specimen G. Economic importance of Specimen G. Remember what I told you about economic importance? I told you that it has to do with both the positive and the negative aspect of an organism. Okay. Number one, here we say it destroys planted crops. It destroys planted crops. That is one of the economic importance of Specimen G, which is grasshopper. Now another one there says it reduces the market value of plant produce. It reduces the market value of plant produce. Here we said it is a good source of protein to diet. There are people who eat grasshopper. Yes, there are people who eat grasshopper. When they roast it, they eat it. It is a good source of protein. And there are also people that grind it, mix it with animal feed. It is also a very nice source of protein in diet. Okay. Yes, it causes increase in cost of production. Causes increase in cost of production. Yes, as a result of their destructive nature, they cause increase in trying to control them. That is, the cost of production will now increase because when buying the chemicals in order to control them and all the rest of them, you see that the cost of producing will be very, very high. Okay. Now here it says it reduces the yield of crops. It reduces the yield of crops. Now another one there says it reduces the viability of crops. It reduces the viability of crops. Now, lastly, we said that it causes plant disease. Their bites can expose plants to different kinds of diseases. So that is the economic importance of Specimen G. Now the question there is, how do we control Specimen G? How do we control specimen G? Now, one of the ways of controlling specimen G is the use of insecticide. With the use of insecticide, specimen G can be controlled. The use of insecticide, specimen G can be controlled, yes. Now, the use of natural enemies. Introduction of natural enemies like the chicken, lizard, and bird. When you introduce birds or chicken in a farmland that is infested by grasshopper, those chicken will definitely feed on the grasshoppers. Or you introduce snake in that particular farmland, or you introduce chicken in that particular farmland, they will eat up the whole grasshopper. That is one of the ways of controlling it. Now, another one way of controlling it is hand picking. You hand pick them and kill them. That is underway. Now, another one there says planting of plant-resistant species, or planting of insect-resistant plants. Okay? Now, when you plant crop that this particular insect cannot feed on or do not feed on, you will see that such infestation will not be noticed in that farm, or their attack will not be there. Now, another one there says early planting. Early planting. Before the migration of these grasshoppers, your plant must have fully developed. Now, another one there is early harvesting. You harvest very early. When you plant early, you harvest early, so that before they begin to attack crops, because they have a particular season that they become much in the farmland. So before that season is due, you must have harvested all your crop. By the time they come, they will only feed on weeds. They will not have any planted crops to feed on. Now, the next one there is bush burning. Bush burning. Yes, it is true that bush burning is not really ideal these days in planting, but we still have the positive aspect of bush burning. Which one of the positive aspects of bush burning is the control of grasshopper. When you set your bush or your forest on fire after you must have finished clearing it, there are some of these grasshoppers and their larvae that will hide under the grasses, waiting for you to plant. By the time you set it on fire, it will destroy all of them. Okay, now that is that for specimen G control. Now let us go over to specimen H. Specimen H. The specimen H there is humerus. We have humerus. Now the things you should be expecting as far as this year practical is concerned is the location. You'll be asked the location of specimen H, which is humerus. Where is it located? Now the humerus is located at the upper limb of a rabbit. Remember what you were asked to bring, or what your teacher is asked to provide, is the humerus of a rabbit. Now, where is the humerus of a rabbit found? Humerus of a rabbit is found at the upper forelimb. This is fore, which is the hand, while that of the leg is hind. Okay, so it is found at the upper forelimb. At the upper forelimb. This is where the humerus is found. So take note on that. Okay, now this next one there is the specimen I. Specimen I is femur of a rabbit. Femur of a rabbit. Now you will also be asked the location where it is found. Location where it is found. I want you to take note of all these that I'm saying, because you will definitely see it in your exam. And make sure you don't come back to tell me possibly you skipped this video. That was the reason why you did not get everything I am saying. Please take note. I believe those who wrote WAEC this year can attest that everything that we said as far as the practical is concerned, they all saw it, and many of them are now coming back to my comment box to say thank you very much, we made it because of your lectures. That is because they paid attention without skipping the videos. So let's continue. It's just an advice. Okay, now the next one that we have there is specimen. Okay, where is it located? That's the location. We see that it is found at the upper hind limb. That is for specimen I, femur. It is found at the upper hind limb. Now the femur is found, that is at the hand, that is the leg. From here to this particular point, the leg, that is the leg side, okay? That is where it is found. It's already on the screen. It's already on the screen. That is where it is found. So now let's go over to specimen J, which is orange fruit. Specimen J, which is orange fruit. Now you will be asked the type of fruit it is. Definitely. You will be asked the type of fruit it is. Remember, if you need assistance as far as this exam is concerned, all you need to do is just send me a message using the number on the screen, or you join our Telegram group where you get all the information that you need in order to excel in this particular exam. Whether you are an art student or you are a science student, all the subjects that you need will provide it, ensure that you have an excellent result by the time the result comes out. Okay, so when you are asked the type of fruit, orange is a berry. That is the type of fruit. It is what? A berry. Good. Now you'll be asked the placentation. The placentation. They will ask you what is the placentation, or name the placentation. The placentation is axial. It is an axial placentation. Axial placentation. Very, very important. Now also go and learn how to draw orange fruit. Now you may be asked to draw the transverse section of an orange, or you'll be asked to draw the longitudinal section of an orange. Remember, you will be given a scale to draw. That is the reason why I said if you need assistance as far as drawing tutorial on how to draw, rules and regulations, and their magnification, because you'll be asked to get all those things. Once you are done drawing, make sure you get the magnification, measure it with your ruler very, very well. All you need to do is just go to that tutorial, go there and watch it. It is better you spend your time watching all these things this period, write your exam and come out with a flying color than regretting at the end of the day or at the end of the exam. Okay, so let's forge ahead. Now under the drawing, it is made up of the seed, it is made up of the epicarp, it is made up of the endocarp, mesocarp, and the placenta. Okay, now that is that for specimen J, which is orange fruit. Now let's go over to the next specimen, which is specimen K, honeybee. Specimen K, honeybee. So what are the questions you should be expecting as far as this specimen K is concerned? That is what you should be concerned about. Now look at this kingdom. The kingdom is Animalia. The class is Incenta. The phylum is Arthropods. The metamorphosis, they undergo complete metamorphosis. Now their feeding habit is fluid feeders. They are fluid feeders. They are fluid feeders. They feed on nectars. Okay, that is where they get their honey, to build their honey. Okay, so that is on that. That is on that. Now let's take a look at the next question as far as specimen K is concerned. As far as specimen K is concerned, which is still on honey bee. Let's take a look at the economic importance of a honey bee. Economic importance of honey bee. Please also learn how to draw a honey bee. It is very, very important. Now under the economic importance, it pollinates plants and flowers, it produces honey, it provides employment opportunity, it is a good source of income to farmers, and it contributes to ecosystem health and diversity. It contributes to ecosystem health and diversity. Okay, so that is very, very important. Now, let's take a look at Specimen L. Let's take a look at Specimen L. Now, the Specimen L, there is land snail. The land snail. Okay, now under the kingdom is Animalae. The phylum, which is very, very important, you must see it. They must ask you of the phylum. The phylum is Mollusca. Please, do not forget. Very, very important. The phylum is Mollusca. Okay? Now, the class is Gastropoda. The class is Gastropoda. Go and learn how to draw it. Now, their mode of growth, they grow through what we call ecdysis or molting. Ecdysis or molting. Okay, so that is that for that. Now learn how to draw it. Under the drawing, we have the shell, we have the head, we have the eye, we have the eye stalk, we have the tentacle, we have the mouth, we have the mucus, we have the genital spore, we have the foot muscles. So these are the things you need to know as far as this particular Specimen L, which is land snail, is concerned. Okay, so let's go over to Specimen M. Specimen M is guava fruit. Guava fruit. Now, the type of fruit is berry. It is a berry. Now, placentation. It has an acyl placentation. The medical name is Pseudium guajava. Pseudium guajava. That is the botanical name. Very important. Now, we have their mode of propagation. How do we propagate them? They are propagated by seed. Now, agent of dispersal is man and animals. Man or other animals. That is the agent of pollination. That is the agent of pollination. Now, the next one we have here now is N, Irish potato. Now, the botanical name of Irish potato is Solanium tuberosum. Solanium tuberosum. Solanium tuberosum. That is the botanical name. Now, the next one we have is Specimen M. Sorry, Specimen O. The next one we have here now is Specimen O. The Specimen O is sweet potato. Sweet potato. The botanical name is Hypomyobotatos. Hypomyobotatos. That is the botanical name of sweet potato. Hypomyobotato. Now, let us take a look at observable difference between Specimen O and Specimen N, which is between Irish potato and sweet potato. The observable difference between these two, very important. Here now we say that Irish potato, it has a rough brown skin and a yellow flesh. Its sweet potato, it have a smooth thin skin and orange in color. It have a smooth thin skin and orange in color. That is it. Now the next one there says it has, or it is irregular in shape. It is irregular in shape. Why this one now? Under sweet potato, we said it is elongated and tampered. It is elongated and tampered. Now the next difference there is it is waxy, which is the Irish potato. It is waxy, which is W-A-X-Y, waxy. Why under the sweet potato, we say that it is softer and more moist texture. It is softer and more moist texture. So when you touch it, it is very, very soft than that of Irish potato. Now let's take a look at the similarities between the Specimen N and Specimen O, which is similarities between Irish potato and sweet potato. Now we say that both are tuber crops. Both are tuber crop. Both are edible. Both are good source of carbohydrates. Both belong to the kingdom of plantain. Both can be stored over a long period of time in a cool, dry place. So these are the things you should be expecting as far as this year 2025 NECO biology practical is concerned. So thank you very much, and remember, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscription button so that whenever we post other videos, you'll be able to watch them. Thank you, and God bless you.